Let me bring in Mark Reckless now, who's here in the studio. Should the British government really be going to Romania and Bulgaria and saying, don't come here, we're a horrible place?
Well, I'm not sure we should be having a negative advertising campaign.
You're not sure?
But I think...
Why would you want to run down your own country?
Well, indeed, but I think that the background of this is the Labour government said that 13,000 were coming from Poland and the other countries, and vast numbers, more than that.
Look, the last Labour government got it totally wrong by a factor of about 100, I think, or something like that. But your government won't tell us at all.
But they also, the Labour government agreed the accession treaty with Bulgaria and Romania.
Sure, but this time we took transition arrangements. Unlike last time, the country did not have transition arrangements. It got the calculation. I remember it well. We covered it on the Daily Politics. They got the calculation of how many would come. Totally wrong. I accept all that. But your government's response now is to give us no estimate of how many Romanians and Bulgarians might come. Agreed?
I think the government's quite concerned that if it does give an estimate, if it's too high, it will be accused of scaremongering. If it's too low, it will be accused of complacency.
Well, how can you plan for housing and schools if you haven't got an estimate?
It is very difficult, and the problem is
I suggest to you it's impossible unless... do you think they have a secret estimate that they're working on, they're just not telling us?
And I wouldn't ask the government to do the impossible, but there's an interaction between our membership of the EU, the not having border controls, anyone from the EU being able to come to this country, and having a welfare system where people don't understand it, where people who haven't contributed to our system can come and immediately start gaining benefits.
I understand.
Now, that's the problem.
I understand. And I want to come on to that in a minute, but for the moment I want to do, because it's an important issue, so I will come on to it, but I want to just stick with the overall issue at the moment. Migration Watch, which is a private think tank, it says it expects about 50,000 people from Romania to come each year, and Bulgaria, until 2019. Does that sound reasonable to you?
Migration Watch are a respected institution, and I take their estimate very, very seriously. But I don't know, because other labour markets are opening at the same time. I'm not sure whether we necessarily have the links with Romania and Bulgaria that some other countries do. Okay. And what's very difficult to estimate is, say, Denmark and Ireland have a similar system in terms of welfare benefits to us. But how much the ability to very quickly gain in-work benefits when you're getting an income which is pretty high compared to Romania and Bulgaria. I don't know what impact that's going to have, but it could
given that the Poles and other East Europeans came in far greater numbers than the government predicted, and probably even the Conservative opposition at the time thought, I mean, I know you thought the government was wrong, but I'm not sure even you knew be so many. What damage did it do this country?
Well, I think it's made people feel we don't have control of our borders.
Yeah, but what damage, that may be true, but that's part of being a member of the European Union. We have free movement of labour and of capital. What damage did it do to have all these hard-working, motivated, in many cases well-educated people come to this country?
Well, I think in particular areas where that movement of people has been concentrated, it's put quite a lot of pressure on public services. And I also think that people at the lower end of our labour market, who are very often competing with new people coming in, they may well have seen their wages depressed by a degree, and some of them may not have jobs who otherwise would, because other people have come in and are prepared to take those jobs and have been more attractive to employers for whatever reason.
I said I would come back to the matter of welfare. Do you think that those who come here, that both welfare benefits and NHS treatment should not be available to them?
In terms of welfare benefits, one change I really think we should make is we should stop paying child benefit to children who are not resident in this country. I think that's very, very important.
Is that it? Would you make any more changes?
I think the other issue in terms of benefits is we have tax credits where people in low or some middling paid jobs on a non-contributory basis get that tax credit. And Romanians and Bulgarians are likely to get that too, because it would probably be against EU law not to do that.
So you can change that.
People getting quite high wages in this country compared to what they might get in Romania or Bulgaria will also be given benefits as a top-up by the state, particularly if they have children. And I think that's a real problem about how our welfare system interacts with our membership of the EU.
What do you make of this?
Well, I think there are costs and benefits to the free movement of people, people from the UK move to other countries and get the benefits from those countries too. I think the point about workers at the lower end of the market having their wages depressed is a good point, but that could be overcome by social protections for all workers right across the board to protect those wages.
What does that mean?
Well, by ensuring a decent standard of living in terms of wages so that terms and conditions can't be undercut. Strong trade unions as well.
Doesn't sound like you're really going to get many changes, does it?
And I think that might make it even more expensive to give benefits to Romanians and Bulgarians. But yeah, I think we could have changes. You know, if people want to take back control of our immigration system, then in 2015, if they vote for a Conservative government, they will get an in-out referendum to choose whether we stay part of this or whether we make our own decisions on immigration.
And how are you going to vote in that referendum?
I'd be very... You know, I wish the Prime Minister well in trying to get powers back. I think it's likely I would be on the side campaigning to come out, but I also...
Okay. So you'll vote no, probably?
I think the Prime Minister's right to try and get
No, I get all that.
these
I just
powers back,
wanted
but
a yes or a no.
I believe we should be
no.
an independent country.
All right, Mark Reckless, thank you.